Guys, so this is my first time doing this. So I promise I'm going to try and um react to sorry, um this video since it's October season or spooky season, I should say. Um I'm going to be doing the top 15 haunted hospitals in America. Um, I am a very big fan of spooky, by the way. So I'm going to be reacting to the best of my abilities.
Welcome to our journey through the darkest corners of America's most haunted hospitals. From abandoned psychiatric wards to chilling sanatoriums, these places hold terrifying secrets. What spirits still wander these halls? What stories of pain and suffering linger long after the patients are gone? Get ready to explore the eerie and unexplained as we uncover the top 15 haunted hospitals in America. 1. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Louisville, Kentucky. Once a place of hope for those suffering from tuberculosis, Waverly Hills Sanatorium has become one of the most haunted locations in America. Built in 1910, this hospital saw thousands of patients come through its doors, many of whom would never leave. The disease was deadly, and at the height of the outbreak, as many as one person per hour was said to die here. To avoid scaring other patients, the hospital staff used a tunnel now known as the Death Chute to transport bodies. Today, this tunnel is the site of countless paranormal sightings, disembodied voices, shadow figures, and eerie cold spots. Room 502 is another hotspot for ghostly activity. It's said that a nurse committed suicide in this room and her spirit lingers.
So I I forgot about that. I think I've heard of this hospital before. Um, but I believe um whoops, sorry. I apologize. I'm still not used to this whole, you know, um, VTuber stuff. Still getting used to the entire um process. So bear with me. I hope nobody gets annoyed by this. Um, it is kind of tiring to, I guess, try to understand the commands and everything. I have to set this up just right.
It's said that a nurse committed suicide.
I also, I apologize that I have to keep pausing this. Um,
In this room and her spirit lingers. Visitors report seeing apparitions and feeling intense dread. The legends
oh
of Waverly
God.
Hills have attracted paranormal investigators and thrill seekers alike, all hoping for a glimpse of the otherworldly. 2. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Weston, West Virginia. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, originally built in the 1860s to house two.
So this one I've heard of absolutely. If I remember correctly, pretty sure the Ghost Adventures crew has gone to this one. There's so many seasons of Ghost Adventures. Um, that place, from what I remember, is kind of spooky. So
150 patients quickly became overcrowded with over 2,400 residents at its peak. Patients suffered not just from mental illness but also from horrific treatments, including lobotomies and electric shock therapy. Many of the patients here lived out their final days in misery, and their spirits are said to haunt the halls. The building itself, with its Gothic architecture, looks like something straight out of a horror movie. But it's the inside that really terrifies visitors. Reports of ghostly sightings, voices, and even full-bodied apparitions are common. One of the most infamous spirits is that of a little girl named Lily, who is said to haunt one of the patient wards. Visitors have heard her giggles and seen her ball rolling across the floor.
So I'm just kind of glad that if it's a place like this, they the kid is at least a friendly ghost. I hope it's not really, angry at anybody, because that would be kind of spooky and very kind of annoying. So
it's a place of tragedy, and those who walk through its doors today are likely to leave with more questions than answers about what still lingers within. 3. Rolling Hills Asylum, East Bethany, New York.
Wait, hold on. Sorry about that. Let's just say I live in Clifton. I live in upstate New York, and so I live in upstate New York, and let's just say that I'm glad this one is far away from me.
Established in 1827 as a poorhouse, Rolling Hills Asylum became home to the mentally ill, orphans, and elderly who had no one to care for them. Over the years, it housed thousands of people, many of whom died within its walls. The most famous ghost said to haunt the halls is Roy, a 7-foot-tall former patient. Roy's spirit is often seen wandering the halls, and many who visit claim to have heard footsteps, whispers, and seen shadow figures. The morgue and the basement are particularly active areas for paranormal activity, with reports of eerie moaning and objects moving on their own. Paranormal investigators and visitors alike have captured EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, and strange occurrences on camera. It's said that Rolling Hills is a portal to the spirit world, and those brave enough to explore it might just come face to face with a ghost from its tragic past. 4. Old Tooele Hospital, Tooele, Utah. Once a family home turned hospital and later a nursing home.
So I guess I should sorry, I'm a little tiny bit sleepy, despite the fact that I had a lot of sleep last night. Does not help with insomnia. So please forgive me.
But the stories of paranormal activity have kept it alive in the minds of ghost hunters. During its operation, it was known for treating railway workers, and many of those who died from their injuries are said to still roam the halls. The hospital saw its fair share of violence, including gang activity in the surrounding area, which led to frequent shootings and stabbings. Today, visitors report seeing shadow figures, hearing phantom voices, and experiencing unexplained cold spots.
Having the end is near on your wall is absolutely insane. Whoops, sorry. Little creepy. Again, I apologize for messing with the video. I'm still getting used to this. So hopefully by the next video. Ugh, sleepy. It's been raining out too. So, hopefully by the next time I do this again, you will see a better edited and better done video. I'm kind of doing this straight through. Makes it easier for me.
But the stories of paranormal activity, seeing shadow figures, hearing phantom voices, and experiencing unexplained cold spots. The hospital has been featured on numerous paranormal TV shows, and its eerie atmosphere makes it a popular spot for thrill seekers. Whether it's the spirits of former patients or something darker, there's no denying the sense of dread that fills the air at Linda Vista. 6. Pennhurst Asylum, Spring City, Pennsylvania.
So, excuse me. I've heard of this one as well. I'm pretty sure Ghost Adventures or another ghost team have actually gone through this one. From what I remember, it was fairly spooky and fairly scary. I don't have a lot to say about it just because I don't recall the episode a lot. If it was Ghost Adventures, then I'm sure that I've seen it. It's just a little spooky.
Pennhurst Asylum is infamous not only for its paranormal activity, but also for its history of neglect and abuse. Opened in 1908, the institution quickly became overcrowded, and reports of inhumane treatment began to surface. Patients, many of them children, were subjected to horrific conditions, and the screams of the mistreated still echo through the halls today. Shadow figures are often seen darting through the corridors, and visitors report hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and even the sound of doors slamming shut. One of the most active areas is the underground tunnels, which were used to transport patients and supplies. The energy in the building is heavy, and many visitors leave with a feeling of deep sadness. Paranormal investigators have captured compelling evidence of ghostly activity, and the asylum remains a chilling reminder of the past. 7. Eloise Psychiatric Hospital, Westland, Michigan. Eloise Psychiatric Hospital was once a sprawling complex that housed thousands of patients. From the mentally ill to those suffering from tuberculosis, Eloise saw a wide range of patients come through its doors. Over the years, it became known for its use of controversial treatments, including electroshock therapy and lobotomies. The spirits of those who died at Eloise are said to still roam the abandoned buildings. Visitors report hearing strange noises, seeing lights flicker, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Some even claim to have seen full-bodied apparitions of former patients. The hospital's most haunted areas include the tunnels that connect the various buildings, where voices and footsteps can still be heard echoing through the darkness.
So, considering I've seen a lot of paranormal videos and stuff, there are some ghost shows that say that some of this stuff can be just leftover energy. I don't fully know what that means, but there's leftover energy, and then there's the energy where a ghost is fully there. They are still there. They are still doing full-blown activity. So there is stuff like walking around, which is possible leftover energy, or there is full-blown ghost activity. So I promise you, there are two different explanations at least for ghosts to be doing that. It's either leftover energy or full ghosts.
It's a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and those who venture inside often leave with more than just a spooky story.
I'm not surprised.
8. Yorktown Memorial Hospital, Yorktown, Texas. Yorktown Memorial Hospital is a small abandoned hospital with a dark and haunted past. Opened in 1951 and run by the Felician Sisters, it served the town of Yorktown until it closed in the 1980s. Despite its size, the hospital has earned a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in Texas. Visitors report seeing full-bodied apparitions, hearing phantom voices, and experiencing objects moving on their own. One of the most infamous areas is the chapel, where a nun is said to have been murdered. Her spirit is often seen standing near the altar, and those who enter the room report a feeling of intense cold. The hospital's old surgical rooms are also known for paranormal.
So hold on. Oh, sorry. Did I? Yeah. Sorry, I did it again. But seriously, that is just creepy. A murdered nun in the chapel is freaky. And from what I've heard, possible negative ghost activity. From what I remember, we were about here. Okay. Positive. It shows where I've been. I'm going to get used to this. I apologize, everybody.
Treatments. The spirits of former patients are said to haunt the hospital, with many visitors reporting strange noises, shadow figures, and cold spots. The most active areas are the abandoned wards and the morgue, where voices and footsteps can still be heard echoing through the empty halls. One of the more famous hauntings involves the ghost of a young boy, who is often seen running through the hallways. Paranormal investigators who have visited Norwich State Hospital have captured disturbing EVPs and witnessed objects moving on their own, adding to its haunted reputation. 11. Fairfield Hills State Hospital, Newtown, Connecticut. Fairfield Hills State Hospital, a psychiatric facility built in 1931, housed thousands of patients during its operation. Known for its sprawling campus and underground tunnels, the hospital has become notorious for its paranormal activity. The patients here were subjected to a variety of treatments, including electric shock therapy and...
So whenever I hear about possible treatments, usually everybody else thinks, surgery, therapy, stuff like that. Nope. When I hear about ghost stories along with treatments, it's usually torture. Torture is usually what happens in these kinds of hospitals. From what I've heard of ghost adventures, and other YouTubers that have gone abandoned place adventuring, I guess you could call it. They usually go into places that are abandoned and walk around and film the process. Usually they don't have any issues. I'm not gonna say who they are though, but they are pretty good at what they do, and they explain the history of the place, which I find pretty cool.
Lobotomies, many of which left them in a state of permanent suffering. Today, the spirits of those patients are said to haunt the abandoned buildings, with shadow figures seen roaming the halls and unexplained footsteps heard echoing through the corridors. The tunnels connecting the buildings are particularly eerie, with many visitors reporting feelings of being watched or followed. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs and even witnessed objects moving by themselves. Fairfield Hills remains a chilling reminder of the horrors of early psychiatric treatments, and those who visit often leave with a sense of unease. 12th Danvers State Hospital, Danvers, Massachusetts. Danvers State Hospital, also known as the Hospital of Horror, opened its doors in 1878. It was designed to treat mentally ill patients, but over the years the conditions inside became nightmarish. Overcrowding, abuse, and experimental treatments such as lobotomies were common, and many patients died within its walls. The hospital's Gothic architecture only adds to its eerie atmosphere, but it's the paranormal activity.
So, when something says people died from treatments, usually that means ghost activity. Trust me, I've seen way too many paranormal videos to not know about this part. Half the time, there's a hospital in it. Sorry. And it has rough treatment of the people they're taking care of. It always means that the people are ghosts afterwards, after they died. Another thing is that sometimes with mental health hospitals that have been shut down, they have graveyards that don't have proper graves. So that means no gravestones, no names. It's usually numbers, and that's about it. I'm getting my information from Ghost Adventures and other paranormal specialists. This is not me going out and about looking at different things. But I think the most interesting thing that I know of is that this is more about graveyards specifically. The older the graveyard, the more decorated the gravestones usually are. I've been in one that it dates back to the end of the 1700s, and the gravestones are fairly decorated as far as the stone goes. I've seen more bland ones in newer cemeteries, I guess. And I guess it's because it is cheaper, less expensive. But anyways, back to the video.
That truly terrifies visitors. Shadow figures are often seen darting through the abandoned wards, and disembodied voices can be heard throughout the building. One of the most infamous areas is the underground tunnels, where many bodies were transported after patients died. Paranormal investigators have captured disturbing EVPs and witnessed ghostly apparitions in the tunnels, and many believe that the spirits of the mistreated patients still linger, unable to find peace. Danvers State Hospital remains a haunted landmark, drawing in ghost hunters and thrill seekers alike. 13th Street Alban Sanatorium, Radford, Virginia. St. Alban Sanatorium, originally built as a boys' school in 1892, became a mental hospital in 1916. Over the years, the hospital gained a reputation for its harsh treatments and brutal conditions. Patients were subjected to electric shock therapy, ice baths, and lobotomies, leading many to believe that the...
So, I haven't ever had to deal with ice baths, but ice showers, on the other hand, I went to a camp that didn't have good water heating, so I ended up getting a cold shower when I was there. It's not pleasant, and I'm sad for these people that had to deal with ice baths instead. So that means they had to dip their entire body into an ice bath.
With reports of eerie moaning, brutal conditions. Patients were subjected to electric shock therapy, ice baths, and lobotomies, leading many to believe that the spirits of those who suffered still haunt the building today. The most infamous hauntings include poltergeist activity, with objects being thrown across rooms, disembodied screams, and apparitions of former patients. The basement is considered one of the most haunted areas, with reports of violent ghostly encounters. Visitors have reported being scratched, pushed, or even hit by unseen forces. The spirit of a young girl is also said to roam the building, and many have heard her voice calling out to them. St. Alban Sanatorium is a hotspot for paranormal investigators, and it remains one of the most haunted locations in Virginia. 14. Glendale Hospital. Glendale.
I think we finally reached one that I have not heard of before. Pretty sure that I haven't heard of this one yet. Oh shoot, I keep doing that. Sorry. Sorry, I'm sleepy. I just want to get one video out. One video. So,
St. Alban Sanatorium, originally built as a boys' school in 1892, became a mental hospital in 19... Patients are said to linger. Normal activity. Built in the 1930s, the hospital was designed to treat patients suffering from tuberculosis, a deadly disease that claimed many lives during that time. The hospital closed in the 1980s, but visitors have reported seeing ghostly apparitions, hearing strange noises.
wait, I have heard of this one. Geez. It's been a while, so forgive me for forgetting this one. I kind of can't remember who went into this one, but it's been so long that I don't remember this one. And to be honest, I think only one group has actually been able to go in and investigate this one out of all of the paranormal groups that I've watched. So, so Um,
noises, and witnessing unexplained lights in the windows of the abandoned buildings. The most haunted areas are the children's ward and the morgue, where the spirits of former patients are said to linger. Many believe that the souls of those who died from tuberculosis are still trapped within the hospital, unable to move on. Paranormal investigators who have explored Glendale Hospital have captured chilling evidence of ghostly activity, and the hospital remains a favorite destination for those seeking the paranormal. 15. The Ridges, Athens Lunatic Asylum, Athens, Ohio. The Ridges, formerly known as the Athens Lunatic Asylum, opened in 1874 and was notorious for its controversial treatments and high patient death toll. The hospital became infamous for housing patients who were considered criminally insane, and many of them never left. The most famous haunting involves the spirit of a woman who died in an isolation room and whose body was not discovered for weeks. The stain of her body is said to still be visible on the floor, and her spirit is often seen wandering the hallways. Shadow figures, disembodied voices, and strange noises are commonly reported by visitors. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs and witnessed ghostly apparitions, especially in the cemetery where many former patients were buried in unmarked graves. The Ridges is a chilling reminder of the dark history of psychiatric care, and its haunted reputation continues to draw those curious about the supernatural. The stories of these haunted hospitals remind us of the tragic pasts and the lives that were forever changed within their walls. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the eerie atmosphere and chilling history of these locations are undeniable.
well, that was creepy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will put a flash warning in the title, so that those with epilepsy don't watch this video, or sorry, doesn't watch this video because of the flashing light at the end. I promise I will make sure that if I ever see any videos with flashing lights, I will have a warning at the beginning, because I have a couple of friends with epilepsy myself. I do not want to have anybody have any issues with that when I post this. So, happy Halloween month, everybody. I might watch or rewatch another show at some point.